I think one of the best qualities a person can have is someone that can stand their ground and fight for what they believe. Usually I would consider myself as well like that, but today I wasn't like that. Oh my god. You'll see what I'm talking about soon enough later on in the video, but yeah. Anyhow, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but have you ever met someone and just immediately get irritated? Look, this makes me sound like such a shitty person. I am a friendly person, okay? I just have this sixth sense that I just know when like the vibes are not gonna vibe. And I know we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. God, I have learned that a lot in the videos I do. But when I started reading this book, she really wasn't helping her case. Así. Como quieras, sea normal. Sí. Ábremelo. Mírame. Mírame. No me bajes la mirada. Also, remember in my last video I told y'all I watched this documentary on North Korea makeup culture and I was astounded, to say the least. So yeah, we're gonna get into that as well a little bit later on, because y'all, I've never heard something quite like it. So without any further ado, let's just get into the makeup.
Las cejas, te vas a depilar así, ¿no?
No, así está bien.
Así tal cual, no traigo nada.
No, así solo le pegas con glicerina, como me dijiste.
Sí, lo que pasa es que están desiguales. Tengo que ver cómo queda con glicerina, si no solo te la maquillo.
I understand that people who work in salons are trying to sell you their services, and I don't have a problem with that really. At the end of the day, it's business, right? But in this situation, she wasn't even gonna charge me to get my eyebrows done. This is the first time I'm going to this place. Nobody recommended me this place. Girl, let's just start with less committing things like my makeup, you know, things that can be fixed or cleaned. Let's build that client trust first. It's not even the fact that she asked me if she could, like, I don't mind people asking me, is the insisting and like kind of mean undertone that it had. I don't know, this reminded me back when I was in 6th grade and I had this friend that wasn't really a friend. Is this sort of making you feel guilty so you do things that you don't want to do at the beginning. This whole her insisting to pluck my eyebrows went for around 20 minutes, and the most logical thing I thought of doing at the moment was to concede.
Necesito nivelarte la ceja de la. Solo un poco.
Yeah, everything I believed in till that very moment, I just threw it into the trash. Now, looking at it a couple of days later, I personally don't think it looks any different because she plucked like nothing. I'm saying this because where I live, you never know what's gonna happen when you go to a salon. It doesn't matter if it's expensive or in a good area, it's really up to the person who's working on you. It's like a Russian roulette kind of thing.
Se hace con lo que se hace el rizado de pestañas, con un lifting pero de cejas.
¿Te hacen?
Sí, hacen. Pero si te hacen, te tienes que depilar. Porque
Sí, ella quiere hacer eso.
están muy desiguales tus cejas, señorita. No, yo quería hacer.
También.
Okay, moving on from a potential catastrophe, K-beauty. I'm not talking about the $13 billion industry in South Korea that has taken over the world. I'm talking about the NK beauty, or North Korean beauty. I suggest you grab a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you drink normally when you want to chill, because today it's gonna be a mouthful. Let's talk about North Korea first. I'm pretty sure you have heard of her. Very well known for its peculiar millennial dictator Kim Jong Un, that also is very well known for his arsenal of nuclear weapons and rocky relationships with other international leaders. I'm pretty sure you have seen him before in pictures with our dear president, well, ex-president, but he's not my ex-president, Donald Trump. They were kind of besties, and sometimes they weren't. Like, it's a very rocky relationship between both of them. And that's the tea for you today. Anyway, moving on. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, better known as North Korea, was born after World War II when the once united Korean peninsula was split. Maybe you've learned this in history class back in the day, or well, maybe some of you still are learning this at school. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there's no educational system that has taught you about how impactful can be makeup in a society. Such impact, it can actually cause a revolution that can change the future of upcoming generations. I know, right? It's just makeup, no? How would that even look like? Well, let me tell you. For the last 75 years approximately, the longest running communist dynasty has been surviving by ruling with an iron fist from the very beginning. Starting with the eternal President Generalissimo Kim Il-sung, his later successor, the eternal President Generalissimo Kim Jong-il, also commonly referred to as the great leader comrade Kim Jong-il, you know, gotta keep it friendly with the people. And today, with current Supreme Leader Kim Jong Un, who took leadership in 2011. I'm just reading all these titles for you to show you how intense these people can be. Access to internet and cell phones is heavily restricted. In fact, North Korea has its own version of internet called intranet, which I didn't fully deep dived into. You can also have a phone, but making international calls is illegal. I don't know how it works inside the country though, because I mean, even the freedom of movement inside Korea is restricted, and only a few people are like allowed to leave the country with a government permission. The restrictions are so high in this country. The government also controls what you watch on TV, hear on the radio, and it goes as far as making actual guidelines of what haircuts, clothing, and makeup you can wear. You know what's so interesting about this is that it's not even history. Like I told you guys that I wanted to do makeup history, but this is things that are happening right now. And it's so weird because it doesn't sound like something you would hear in 2022. Anyway, this kind of works as a sort of visual confirmation of whether you fall in line, quote unquote. Any sort of altercation could lead to getting arrested. This is a very different situation from the one I talked in my last video, where I talked about the disapproval of makeup in many empires like the Roman or the English Empire, where makeup was simply seen as immoral and not as a crime. And y'all, when I tell you you might get arrested because of this, it could be for the most minimal thing. And I'm not saying, okay, you go to the police station and you just stay there. These people have concentration camps where you can be tortured. There's no human rights there. Like, it's quite a big deal. The act of selling beauty products that have not been approved by the government or even buying them is absolutely illegal. It could go as far as getting you killed. Weirdly enough, despite that, the makeup business is one of the most flourishing black market businesses in North Korea. In Jeongmyeon, a marketplace, South Korean cosmetics are 2 to 3 times more expensive than the North Korean or Chinese made products. A single mascara could cost you up to like 2 weeks worth of rice purchase. In this market, female smugglers will talk to you in a distinct Seoul accent to attract the attention of women or North Korean women. But how would they know how a Seoul accent sounds like? Because like I said before, they can't watch international TV. It's only what the government shows you on TV, which is mostly political propaganda. Well, people also smuggle in flash drives filled with foreign media, the most popular being the South Korean media. So once these people are exposed to this sort of entertainment, they like how people look, and like any of us does, we try to mimic or become it. Although the impact of makeup goes beyond just changing or enhancing your appearance, and history can prove it. Kim Il-sung previously in 1950 used cosmetics to boost the morale of female soldiers in Mongolia during the battle with Japan, where China assisted North Korea against the South Korean and the UN forces in the Korean peninsula. Kim Il-sung realized the power that makeup had and just beauty in changing people's minds early on. And this really gave them results because Later on, following his footsteps, the younger Kim is investing in state-run brands like Unhasu or Bomhyangi to develop the world's best cosmetics that today are sold to the local people of Korea and sometimes even exported to Russia or China. So if you live in those countries, I'm pretty sure you can get them. Starting the makeup industry hasn't been easy for Korea though, because international sanctions have just made it so hard for North Korea to import high quality ingredients to make high quality products. I wanted to talk about beauty standards because beauty standards over there are very different from any other standard in the world. Even though in 2022 the perfect body or ideal look is starting to change in a more inclusive and body positive environment, the stereotype for perfect or ideal bodies in early 2000 was skinny or slim, but that was never the case in North Korea. Ever, actually. Because having curves and a rounder face are what men and women look for in a partner. It was a signal of wealth and health. Kim Jong Un is considered to be one of the most handsome, respectable, and desirable men in North Korea. Miss Kim Jong Un is like the Chris Hemsworth of the West. His physical appearance isn't the only thing why he is desired, you know. This guy is a wealthy guy. And depending who you ask, you might think this guy is a genius or even a god. Like, I'm not even kidding. He is a god. He is a god-sent person to North Korean people. When I was researching for this, I looked into, you know, the fashion and the beauty styles that people go for there. And it's pretty basic. Like, there's nothing, you know, you can't go really out there of how you look like. Pretty much everybody keeps it on the low key. You could say these people go for a clean look. Like, they want to look perfectly clean. When you see like military women, you just see them pretty dolls. At the beginning of this video, I was telling you that the makeup community is becoming one of the strongest communities in North Korea to begin a revolution, or at least trying to. But how? We still haven't answered that question. Fashion and beauty trends extend beyond the surface. They signal a much wanted change within the society. It's signaling to your community and to your friends that you are kind of different and don't agree with, you know, there's restrictions or laws. And taking ownership on your own beauty is a way that many people have been taking to show resistance against the regime. Even if that means many times putting your life at risk. Even though this is just my second research on, you know, makeup history and makeup culture, I thought that was just so interesting. And funny enough, I was with a friend when I was doing this research, and I'm not even kidding you, we are like obsessed with this whole subject. I didn't want it to make it too political, but at the end of the day, I think it's a pretty political movement, this makeup community in North Korea. And yeah, I encourage you to look more into this because it's very interesting. And the fact that it's happening right now, it's, I don't know, I just felt it sounds something so fictional, like I would see it on a movie. And I just told you the surface because I didn't want to really, like, I wanted to, but at the same time I wanted to focus more on the makeup aspect. This whole idea began when I watched this documentary on North Korean makeup, and I'm gonna leave a link down below so you watch it, and many other resources where I found information so you can read it for yourself. And I don't know, if you would like to discuss it with me, we can do it in the comment section or DM me on my Instagram, because y'all, I'm just really interested and I can't stop talking about it to everyone. And I'm gonna leave like channels of North Korean people who have escaped North Korea and now have like YouTube channels and, you know, like beauty YouTube channels where they talk about their experience. And I guess it's better for you to hear them from them than from me, because I'm just an outsider. I'm just a person who got really curious about the subject. And yeah, that was pretty much it. You guys, I am loving this this type of videos. So yeah, I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Make sure to let me know what would you like me to talk about next time. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!